What's up, y'all? It's your host, Desmos. It does the most. Crispy. Welcome back to that video. When the nice cartoon character snapped it, he finally snapped. There are a lot of nice cartoon characters that they snap and it'd be a whole different person. I can say a couple examples, like SpongeBob as a prime example, bro. Whew. I got hurt. It's funny when he crash out though. But if you're new to the channel, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, follow our social media, come up on the screen. We is on the road to 500. And very close. Matter of fact, let me look at how far we is with that. I would like to see that. 471 subscribers. Oh wow. I'm very clap it up. We is halfway there, boys. Ladies, women, grown men, kids. Appreciate it. I very appreciate it for 471 subscribers. We halfway there to 500. We halfway there, boys. Let's get it. Let's get on to the video, though.
Have you ever wondered
when a nice character, well, I say character, nice cartoon character, snap. It should have said when a nice character, character snap. It would have been good. But
when the nice, peaceful character really crashes out. Well, today we're going to look at all the times when the nicest characters from cartoons totally lost their shit. And honestly, there's one in this list that is extremely valid. Starting with SpongeBob SquarePants. This sea kitchen sponge works at the Krusty Krab, where he gets yelled at daily by the most miserable person in the whole 7 seas, Squidward Tentacle.
Alright, let's keep it a buck. Squidward is like really us in like later down our life. Don't feel like doing that in life. Just wanted to have a joy and want to accomplish goals and stuff like that. We all turn like Squidward. So let's keep it a buck. We is not SpongeBob holly jolly on most of them days. The only time you holly jolly is on that nice Good Friday. You know you about to go out with your homeboy or homegirls, or y'all about to go hit the little club and stuff like that. This is us on Mondays, Sundays, Mondays, all the way to the week till they hit that Friday. Then we gonna turn some SpongeBob and be happy as a mug. So I don't blame Squidward doing that. Imagine dealing with SpongeBob, Patrick, and an entire Bikini Bottom. I just can't. I can't blame him. See how he be acting.
He gets exploited by the cheapest cheapskate, Mr. Krabs, and still wakes up every morning acting like life is the greatest thing that ever happened.
I'm ready! 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 I'm ready!
Don't close his door? Wow. I'm surprised they never did an episode of somebody breaking into his house. Nah, that's crazy. You telling me?
I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready.
Open the door wide open and nobody went in that man's house ever? Nah, that's crazy.
I'm ready. I'm ready.
So if this squishy box of jolliness is losing his temper, you just know someone has seriously messed up. And the episode, Can You Spare a Dime, somehow manages to push him over the edge. But his first dime has gone missing. Now, this isn't just any dime. This is apparently the sacred coin that started his entire business empire. I mean, it makes no sense to us, but the cartoon is literally talking fish underwater, so we've got bigger fish to fry. And that was no pun intended, I promise. So instead of Mr. Krabs handling this like a normal employer, he immediately accuses Squidward of stealing.
Out of all the dudes, Squidward.
Because Squidward worked the register.
He like, well, it's either it can't run out by itself. It's either you stole it or you stole it. That's what he said.
All day, which means that he's automatically the prime suspect.
Are you accusing me of something?
Watch this.
Well, the way I see it, there are 3 possibilities. 1, you stole it. 2, you stole it. Or 3, you stole it!
Right.
Squidward obviously denies it, and Mr. Krabs demands that he shows his tentacles. At this point, Squidward decides he's had enough of this nonsense and quits on the spot. Good on you, pal. Now here's where SpongeBob enters the story, because SpongeBob feels terrible for the terrible bloke. After Squidward ends up homeless and living in a f***ing cardboard box, begging strangers for spare change, SpongeBob does what SpongeBob always does. He tries to help, and he lets Squidward stay at his house.
Change. Spare change, ma'am.
Squidward? Squidward, is that you?
At first,
Nah, look. Whoa. Come on now. Now, Nickelodeon and the dude whoever wrote this episode was wrong for putting Squidward that homeless. Now, come on now. He could have been like fighting jobs and getting quit because of the attitude and all that other stuff. Like, I would have seen that, but just straight getting him homeless and having some spare change.
Change, ma'am.
Squidward? Squidward, is that you?
At first, it's genuinely wholesome. SpongeBob makes him breakfast in bed, giving him massages, basically treating him like royalty. But then the days turn into weeks, and the weeks into months, and Squidward just never leaves.
Later.
I'm sure he's close to a breakthrough.
So much later that the old narrator got tired of waiting and they had to hire a new one.
This miserable and ungrateful mollusk even stops pretending to look for a job. He spends his entire day lounging around while SpongeBob cooks, cleans, and runs the house like a full-time servant in his own home. Now, SpongeBob tries to be subtle about the problem and serves Squidward alphabet soup that literally spells out, "get a job." He even hands him newspapers with job listings. But Squidward ignores every single hint, which eventually leads to SpongeBob's first crash out.
I got a better idea. Why don't I call someone whose job it is to fix it? You know,
Because when I need somebody to do their job.
why? Because when I need a job done, I get someone with a job to do that job.
For the first time in the episode, SpongeBob finally raises his voice and screams at Squidward like he's trying to break the sound barrier. But it still doesn't work. Now, SpongeBob eventually reaches his absolute limit.
Nah, I ain't lying to you. Seeing this, you know when you're showing all teeth like this, yeah, I'm not gonna hold you. That's something different.
He grabs the entire bed Squidward is lying on and pushes it straight through the wall of his house. Not just outside either. He literally shoves Squidward across town to the Krusty Krab, which is the best part because the second crash out is where things get absolutely legendary. Mr. Krabs is casually on the phone, denying charity donations for children because what actually have children ever done for any of us? SpongeBob slams a dime into the counter and demands that Mr. Krab gives Squidward his job back. Mr. Krab checks out the dime and says that it isn't his first one, so he refuses. SpongeBob throws all the dimes at him, but Mr. Krabs chooses to be a petty little cheapskate. At this point,
And this right here, I love when SpongeBob did this stuff. He said, "You chopped it, you freaking cheapskate. Squidward been living in my house, driving me saying it, and you all doing this for that." I ain't lying to you. This was produced by somebody else. Nah, he wouldn't have been cussing.
SpongeBob finally snaps completely. He grabs Mr. Krabs by the throat and starts violently shaking him, calling him a crustaceous cheapskate and screaming about how Squidward is freeloading at his house because of him.
Listen, you crustaceous cheapskate! Squidward's been living at my house, driving me crazy, and you're not gonna hire him back all because of a stupid dime!
I ain't gonna hurt you. And this more SpongeBob, we needed to see more of this SpongeBob. This the more SpongeBob we really needed to see more. Like, look how freaking Mr. Krabs looking like. I'm scared.
What's that?
Right in the middle of the bloody meltdown, the original dime suddenly falls out of Mr. Krabs' pocket. Turns out the greedy crab had it on him the entire time. But this lightens SpongeBob up, as Squidward gets his job back, and everything technically goes back to normal. But Mr. Krabs immediately starts accusing Squidward again anyway, and SpongeBob quietly puts his maid outfit back on because at this point, he already knows exactly how this story ends. That moment of SpongeBob crashing out is still one of the most satisfying scenes in the entire series.
Like, bro, younger me son, I was so happy that happened like to him, bro. Cause like that just it deserved. Cause how the way SpongeBob been getting treated by Mr. Krabs, I'd be like that too. Okay.
Because if the happy fry cook is yelling at you, then best believe you've definitely messed up somewhere along the line. Now, this one's interesting because if you watched our last video about the greatest betrayals in cartoon history, you'll notice that this episode follows that exact same formula, where the traitor would gain someone's trust, get close to them, and then stab them in the back the moment they're not looking. Except this time, the victim is Finn the human from Adventure Time, which honestly makes it even worse because Finn is basically the nicest hero in the land of Ooo. The guy helps literally anyone who asks. Monster princess, random stranger, it genuinely doesn't matter. If you need help, Finn will probably risk his life for you, without thinking twice, which makes him the perfect target for someone who wants to take advantage of that skydiving through the air.
He gave the bear that book with Billy and stuff. I think this was like later season. They had to be. No, I think this before even Billy got eaten by the lich or something like that.
Absolute lunatics that they are. Jake turns into a parachute and they land safely. And everyone starts celebrating with Princess Bubblegum and the Candy People.
It's clean.
During the party, a random bear shows up and starts hanging around Finn and Jake. Now, Jake immediately gets bad vibes from this beast. And we mean immediately. The bear barely says a word. It just awkwardly copies everything Finn does like a bloody dummy. Every movement, every phrase, even the weird little dance that Finn does while greeting everyone.
Punch!
But Finn, being the bloody airhead that he is, sees no problem with this. He thinks it's brilliant, because Finn is the kind of person who sees a suspicious stranger following him home and thinks to pay it with f***ing hospitality. So naturally, he invites the bear to stay the night in the tree fort. Jake, meanwhile, is looking at the situation like he's in a horror movie. And honestly, I mean, he's completely spot on, because later that night, Jake wakes up and finds the bear wearing Finn's hat and dancing around pretending to be him.
What? Hey, Princess Bubblegum. Hey, everybody.
Is literally rehearsing how to be Finn, instead of rehearsing like Masha and the Bear or something. Naturally, this should probably raise a few alarms, but when Jake tries to tell Finn about it, the bear pretends to be asleep. Now things escalate when Finn leaves the house to pick up BMO and tells Jake not to eat his Finn cakes. You know, the cupcakes shaped like his own face? While Finn is gone, the bear eats all of them. Jake records the entire thing because he's convinced the bear is trying to frame it.
Why, you little... Trying to set me up, eh? You think you're so smart, but this time, I'm ready.
When Jake gets back, of course he initially thinks Jake did it, but Jake finally shows him the recording, but Finn gets mad at him for watching the bear eat them instead. Then he discovers something.
How you gonna get mad at him? Mad at him for you thinking he ate the stuff of your cakes, and the whole time he got the video proof, and then you want to get like that always got me mad as a little one. And I always, like, me and my brother was dead serious talking about that, because to this day, how do you get mad at him, the dude who living with you, who been knowing you since you were little, knowing not to eat your stuff, but if a bear come, all right, that's like saying me and my partner had a house together since like 7 years, and we just bring some random dude from Chuck E. Cheese or some stuff, and he was doing bad and down and talking about don't eat my fruits or something like that. He ate the fruits, and I got it on camera, and he gonna believe the guy who ate his fruits than me? Like, no, bro.
And even worse, the bear has been going around town pretending to be Finn, throwing a party, inviting Princess Bubblegum, and basically stealing Finn's entire identity. So Finn and Jake follow the trail to the forest, where they find the bear wearing Finn's clothes and partying with the Candy People.
See, dude? He's not just jacking your style, he's jacking your whole you.
At this point, Jake does what any good best friend would do. He fires Finn up, listing all the ways the bear betrayed him. He copied him, stole his identity, and lied to everyone. He even tries to make it personal by pointing out the bear is dancing with his ex, Princess Bubblegum. And that's when Finn finally snaps. He storms up to the bear, rips the mask straight off of its face, and tells him the jig is up.
Not cool, man. You're not me. You're just a bear acting like me.
Facts.
The bear runs away crying, which honestly feels a bit harsh because suddenly the nice hero we know just
And me like that, I'm like, man, so bad. Bye. Okay. Like,
completely destroyed this poor creature emotionally. But here's the twist. After Princess Bubblegum explains that nobody actually thought the bear was Finn anyway, Finn realizes he might have overreacted. So he goes to apologize. And when he finds the bear, the creature admits it only wanted to be a hero, like him.
Man, Princess Bubblegum for anybody at this point. She talking about it, they thought it was him. Nah, you thought that was him. You was dancing with the dude. Nah, bro. Princess Bubblegum, you for everybody, bro. I'm my face.
A hero. So Finn feels a bit guilty and actually gives the bear his most important possession. The f***ing Enchiridion, the literal hero's guidebook.
Hold on, bear. I got something for you. It's the Enchiridion, the hero's handbook. Everything you need to know about being a hero is in this book.
Which would really be a wholesome ending, except for one small problem. The bear takes the book, cycles through a forest, climbs a mountain, walks into a cave and hands it over to, drumroll, the Lich, who's secretly controlling the snail the entire time. Which means that Jake was right from the start. The bear wasn't inspired by Finn. He was manipulating him, gaining his trust and using that trust to steal one of the most important artifacts in the entire show. Which honestly makes this one of the sneakiest betrayals in Adventure Time. We at Not Fair Studios completely justify Finn's crash out and Jake being a bloody jerk. Now, this might be one of the most famous examples of a nice character completely losing it. Because if you know the Powerpuff Girls, you know exactly how the sisters are usually portrayed. You've got Blossom, Commander and the leader, Buttercup, she's the toughest fighter, but Bubbles, she's the last person you'd expect to see for the kind of bloody things she did here. Literally bloody. She's the cute one that everyone treats like she's made out of candy floss. But the episode Bubble Vicious asks a very important question. What happens when the cute one gets tired of being treated like a baby? The episode begins with Buttercup finishing a combat training simulation, created by Professor Utonium. She absolutely demolishes a giant monster at danger level 9, and everyone praises her for being hardcore.
I think you got him, honey. Come back in now.
How was that? Well, I thought you went a little too far, like when...
Instead of giving her the same challenge, the professor quietly lowers the difficulty all the way down to danger level 2, which basically means Bubble gets stuck fighting what is essentially a bloody stupid toy robot waddling through a house, like a f***ing penguin.
No, that's crazy.
I'm gonna get there. I'm gonna get there. I'm gonna get there. I'm gonna get there.
And Bubbles is not impressed. She literally asks the professor to turn the difficulty up because she's just as tough as her sisters. But while she's arguing, the tiny robot suddenly zaps her and she fails the test, which leads the professor to say the worst possible thing she could have at that moment. You're not ready. We know that hurt. We could f***ing crash out too, to be honest. Now, if that wasn't bad enough, things only get worse later that night. When the girls are going to bed, Blossom asks the professor to leave the hallway light on for Bubbles, because apparently everyone still thinks she's afraid of the dark. Even Buttercup starts teasing her for being the scariest. At this point, Bubbles has had enough. So later that night, she sneaks into the lab and decides to prove a point. She sets the simulator to level 11, the maximum danger level. Is she out of her f***ing mind?
That's crazy.
She pulls up into a full apocalypse scenario, surrounded by 5 gigantic monsters.
Oh, wow.
And at first, it looks like she's going to lose, but then she starts remembering every single time someone called her cute little Bubbles. And she just goes Super Saiyan. Like, I'm not kidding. Tearing through monsters one by one, screaming about how she's hardcore the entire time.
Yeah. Yeah, she gotta use that as fuel. Like, you know, when your sister never talk about you scared of the dark, you know you wasn't scared of the dark. Use that as fuel. You know, beat them up. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I know that's right, Bubbles.
Now that was a literal bloody moment, like literally bloody. But the episode isn't done yet, because the next day at recess, the girls are playing Duck Duck Goose. Blossom tags Bubbles and runs away laughing, teasing her for being slow. So she catches Blossom and slams her into the ground hard. At this point, her sisters are realising something is very wrong. But things escalate even further when the mayor calls the hotline. Normally the girls would handle the situation together, but Bubbles grabs the phone, demands the details like an angry drill sergeant, and then smashes the hotline phone after hanging up, which is slightly concerning. It turns out the emergency is just a traffic jam caused by the talking dog trying to drive a car. And this one personally hurt us as kids, because Bubbles solves the problem the only way she knows how to right now, by absolutely beating the hell out of the dog.
Oh, hi, Bubbles. How are you?
Nah, I ain't lying to you. Imagine you seeing this, though.
The hell out of the dog.
Oh, hi, Bubbles.
Nah, that's crazy. That's crazy. No, that's crazy. Same time, I wouldn't be scared, but same time, I'd be like, how you broke the roof?
How are you?
Oh, Bubbles, have mercy.
Mercy is for the weak.
From that point on, she basically becomes a one-girl vigilante. She starts flying around Townsville, violently enforcing the law against people committing crimes as dangerous as littering and stepping on the grass, or even parking in the wrong place, which might be the most aggressive law enforcement in cartoon history. Mojo Jojo eventually captures her and tries to break her spirit with a massive laser designed to make her cry for her sisters. But Bubbles refuses, even when the laser is turned all the way up to level 11. She breaks free, breaks out of Mojo, and defeats him completely on her own.
That's crazy. Getting put up by Bubbles, low-key crazy.
By the time Blossom and Buttercup arrive, the fight is already over. And that's when they finally say the words Bubbles has been waiting for all episode. They admit that she's hardcore. Once she finally gets the respect she wanted, Bubbles calms down and goes back to her usual cheerful self. Well, that's
I don't know about that.
until Mojo wakes up and cheap shots the girls. Bubbles immediately goes right back into rage mode and beats him up again. Because apparently, once you unlock hardcore Bubbles, you get what you wish for. Hardcore. If we don't start the list with the greatest show in animation history, we'll end the list with the greatest show in animation history. None other than Avatar: The Last Airbender. Because throughout the entire show, Aang is basically the definition of a nice character. He's goofy, he's playful, always trying to avoid violence whenever possible. Even when the world is literally begging him to fight, he still tries to solve things peacefully. But the episode The Desert pushes him to a place we almost never see him go. And it all starts right after the group escapes the library and realises something horrible. Upper is gone, because the dumbass bloody Sandbenders captured him. Now, normally Aang tries to stay calm and starts cracking. Appa isn't just transportation. Appa is his last connection to the life he lost 100 years ago. So Aang asks what happens, and he immediately turns on Toph, accusing her of letting the Sandbenders escape. Katara tries to calm him down, reminding him that Toph literally saved all of their lives when the library collapsed. But Aang isn't hearing any of it. He lashes out at everyone, calling them selfish, and storms off into the desert on his glider to look for Appa, alone.
All any of you guys care about yourselves. You don't care whether Appa is okay or not.
Can't afford to be fighting now.
I'm going after Appa.
From that point on, you can tell he's completely losing control emotionally. He flies across the endless dunes, screaming for Appa and blowing his bison whistle, hoping for any sign that his best friend is still out there somewhere. The frustration and grief eventually boil over, and he lands in the sand, slams his staff into the ground, and creates a massive shockwave that sends sand exploding into the sky like a mushroom cloud.
No!
No, that's crazy.
That's when you realise that this isn't just sadness anymore. This is anger. Real anger. Later that night, the group finally reunites. But Aang is completely...
Just imagine, you know, that was like your only last person to talk to, and y'all like froze together on some like 1,000 years on some stuff. Like now y'all like, that's your only family member or family or close friend to you, and all you do is talk to them on a regular basis and stuff like that. I low-key feel his pain too. Not like that. That's somebody a part of me. What you mean?
Broken. For a moment, it even looks like he's ready to give up entirely. But then the group discovers a sand sailor, the same kind used by the sandbenders who took Appa. Suddenly, Aang isn't just sad anymore. He's actually f***ing looking for revenge. When they eventually run into the sandbenders again, the tension f***ing explodes, and Aang steps forward, demanding to know where Appa is. And when they try to deny it, he destroys one of their sand sailors instantly.
They're the thieves!
You tell me where he is.
At this point, the entire tribe is terrified, and Toph confirms what she heard earlier. One of them was talking about putting a muzzle on Appa, and that's the moment Aang completely snaps. We all know that Kyoshi takes over. His eyes and tattoos start glowing as he enters the Avatar state.
You said to put a muzzle on him. You muzzled Appa?
Now, if you've seen the show, you know the Avatar state usually represents balance and power. But here, it looks absolutely terrifying. The wind starts spiraling around him. The sand begins whipping into a full storm, and Aang floats into the air, like he's about to level the entire desert. The sandbenders start begging for mercy, promising to help them leave the desert. But Aang isn't listening. He's too far gone.
No, that's crazy.
And honestly, this might be the most chilling part of the scene, because the nicest character in the entire show
Katara
suddenly becomes the most dangerous person in the entire desert. The
no,
only
I
person
think you're finna say Katara. Yeah, there you go. Never mind. There you go.
brave enough to step forward is Katara. While everyone else runs, she walks straight into the storm, grabs Aang and hugs him. And slowly, the storm dies down. Aang collapses, crying into Katara's arms, because underneath all of that rage, he's still just a kid who lost his best friend. And for a moment in that desert, we saw exactly what happens when even the nicest hero in the world finally reaches his breaking point. He snaps.
Yeah, that's crazy. Just don't mess with the nice guys, man. Just, you know, nice guys always want to be nice guys. But I hate how they say the slang, nice guys don't finish last, but yes, we do finish last. I don't know who said that, but we do. But hope y'all enjoyed the video. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, follow our social media, pop on the screen. We're on the road to 500, and I'm out.